The mind of Nikola Tesla was apparently obsessed with time travel as well. He worked on a time machine and reportedly succeeded, saying the following: "I could see the past, present, and future, all at the same time." The idea that humans are able to travel in time has captured the imaginations of millions around the globe. If we look back at history, we will find numerous texts that can be interpreted as evidence of time travel. When Albert Einstein published his theory of relativity in 1905, it created a buzz in the scientific community, opening the page for many questions, such as time traveling. There is even evidence of time travel in the Bible, according to Eric von Daniken. In the Bible, the prophet Jeremiah was sitting together with a few of his friends, and there was a young boy. His name was Abimelech. And Jeremiah said to Abimelech, "Go out of Jerusalem, there is a hill, and collect some figs for us." The boy went out and collected the fresh figs. All of a sudden, Abimelech hears some noise and wind in the air, and he becomes unconscious. He had a blackout. After a time, he wakes up again, and he saw it was nearly the evening. So when he runs back to the society, the city was full of strange soldiers, and he says, "What's going on here? Where are Jeremiah and all the others?" An old man said to him, "That was 62 years ago."
Said that Tesla also told him he completed a working model of a death ray and had hidden it in a lockbox in New York. Adding to the intrigue, Tesla had a relative he didn't like very much, named Sava Kasanovic. Kasanovic was from Yugoslavia and had connections to the Axis powers, according to a New York Times source in the documents. And apparently Kasanovic was at the hotel on the night of Tesla's death and searched the lockbox. He ended up taking a few pictures only, apparently, nothing major, but still, the intrigue swirled. So just to make sure they didn't miss out on Tesla's death ray, the FBI decided to have an expert thoroughly look over all the stuff Tesla had left behind. That expert was an MIT engineer who had worked for the government on stuff like radar research, so they trusted him. So he took a look at Tesla's things, including what was supposed to be Tesla's working death ray model. And the engineer said it was nothing more than standard electrical measuring instruments in common use several decades ago. So the MIT engineer basically looked at Tesla's death ray machine and said, "Nothing to see here." And that was that. Case closed. And that MIT engineer was none other than Donald Trump's uncle, John G. Trump. So Donald Trump's actual uncle was the person to inspect Tesla's supposed death ray machine. For real, you can't make that up. Now, to me, that's pretty funny. I mean, maybe that's why Trump's so confident when it comes to bragging about our military and bossing other countries around. Maybe his brilliant scientist uncle saw some secret plans of Tesla's that the president-nephew now knows about.
What's going to happen, and he was right.
This is another of the series entitled Vignettes of Early Radiation Workers, sponsored by the Bureau of Radiological Health. These consist of unrehearsed interviews with scientists working mostly in fields that impinge upon the applications of ionizing radiation to diagnostic and therapeutic radiology. Such fields include biology or radiobiology, physics, radiological physics, engineering, embryology, endocrinology, and many others. Today, we have with us an engineer who typifies that American capability of converting great ideas into operating mechanisms that can then be turned over, as it were, to the man in the street for safe and proper use and applications. Only Professor John Trump, who is with us today, did not stop there. He carried further the development of high-voltage radiation-producing machines making them available for research applications. And in at least one of these, the technology in medicine, he has also pioneered in some of the research. And we'll hear about some more of these as we go along.
And this man is Dr. Richard Dresser, who was the radiation therapist of the Harvard Medical School at the Huntington Memorial Hospital. The tube was a vacuum, a mercury vapor pumped, continuously pumped system.
Right. Well, I have another step in this development. This was a unit that you built, somewhat the same as this other, for the, I believe, the American Oncologic Hospital in Philadelphia. Is that correct?
Yes. The American Oncologic Hospital became interested in acquiring X-rays, which were characterized by the greater penetration and lower skin effects, which were now convincingly demonstrated. And we undertook to develop a 2 million volt machine, which was even smaller than the Mass General. This shows my associate Robert Cloud, who did an outstanding research and development job with me in the High Voltage Research Laboratory at MIT. This picture was actually taken at the end of World War II. I became involved in war activities beginning in 1940, but Bob Cloud continued to work on X-ray development.
His own time machine and had claimed that he was able to go into the immediate future and the immediate past. I don't think he was able to do anything too crazy, but I mean, that's crazy enough, right? If it even happened. He moved to the US in the late 1800s, and when he died in 1943, the US actually took all of his stuff. And you guys aren't going to believe this, but the name of the office that seized all of Tesla's information, all of his work, everything he was working on, everything he was doing, was actually the Office of Alien Property. Yes, that is seriously what it's called. You can look it up. So, you know, once it got in the hands of them and the FBI, they wanted to hire someone who knew what they were doing to look through all of Tesla's work, all of his notes, and see if there's anything that they could possibly weaponize, just like ideas, stuff like that. And they actually hired a guy, and he was an MIT professor who was very, very smart, and he was hired to go through all of Tesla's things and see if there was anything, you know, any ideas that were there that could be used. And this guy was none other than John Trump. Yes, you are hearing that right. This was actually Donald Trump's uncle. And this is fact, you can look it up. His name is John Trump. He was actually a very, very smart scientist.
On my show was in a fairly lively debate with you, actually. What do you make of this?
Well, I was a little surprised by that debate because all of a sudden he comes out of nowhere and starts going crazy. And, you know, I've known him over the years, and I learned a lot about him that night. I was absolutely shocked. I mean, he was, I found, to be almost unstable. And I watched this today because I was watching between Pizzagate and Anthony Weinergate. I found Anthony Weinergate to be a terrible situation. He obviously knows it's him.
He mentions Pizzagate. This is 2011. Pizzagate. Clear as a bell. You can't miss it. Now, I ran back through 2011, and I can't find anything Pizzagate related at all except for Donald Trump mentioning it. So listen for yourself. Tell me what you think of the comment.
Last time I had him on my show was in a fairly lively debate with you, actually. What do you make of this?
Well, I was a little surprised by that debate because all of a sudden he comes out of nowhere and starts going crazy. And, you know, I've known him over the years, and I learned a lot about him that night. I was absolutely shocked. I mean, he was, I found, to be almost unstable. And I watched this today because I was watching between Pizzagate and Anthony Weinergate, because I was watching between Pizzagate and Pizzagate and Anthony Weinergate.
Okay, so he, without a doubt, absolutely, definitely said Pizzagate and then Weinergate. And like I said, I can't find anything that's related. I find it very odd. It could.
Please email us at stringtheoryearth@gmail. Get your ebook download. And don't forget the cat is dead. Oh, no, wait a minute. I think I saw it move. No, never mind, it's dead. At least until our next video.